So welcome everyone to Internet Marketing Education with the Web Woman. My name is Bonnie Dillabough, and I started my first website back in 1996. I've been making my living online ever since. So as you can imagine, since I've been doing this for over 19 years, I've accumulated a few handy tips, tricks, and secrets. Over that time, I've done a lot of educating of myself and also a lot of educating of others. I was an instructor for the Robert Allen Enlightened Millionaires program, the Internet Marketing instructor for that. I have had several private Internet marketing groups that were paying groups over the years. And as I went through a period of serious illness starting in 2008 and until probably about 6 to 8 months ago, I stopped working online. And so when I started working online again, there are several things that I realized. One is that the Internet keeps moving whether you're moving on it or not. And the second is that there's still a great need for education about Internet marketing. The problem comes in when you recognize that in order to get that kind of education, it is beyond the pocketbook of most people. I have a little bit of background noise. If you didn't hear earlier on, it's *6 to mute your line. Thank you. So that being said, I realized that the people who need education in Internet marketing the most are the people who are the least likely to be able to afford it. The other thing I recognize as I go through on Facebook and other social media and go through and visit many, many websites online is that most people clearly do not understand how to most effectively market online. And so that's why you're all here this evening. What I'm hoping will happen tonight is that we can clarify some things for you and you can recognize that it's a lot better to do this with a guide than to try and do it by yourself. It's kind of like walking in the jungle. When you're walking in the jungle by yourself, it's not a very safe place to be, especially if you've never been in the jungle before. But if you have a guide who's experienced, you're going to eliminate a lot of the problems that might come from that same walk in the jungle. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my, right? So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to start right where you are right now. Now, some of you have more understanding of the Internet than others. And what I'm going to try and do is create a balance in this course, which is an ongoing weekly course, never at any charge to anyone who wants to come in and participate. What we're going to try and do is create a balance between the brand new, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing, folks, and the ones who've been around for a while but just want to either hone their skills or take a second look at what they're doing to see where they can tweak their current situation and make it better. So wherever you are, there is a starting place for each of you. And this is the starting place. We want to inventory your assets. Now, one thing that you need to be very clear about is whether you are a brand new person online who barely knows how to use their mouse, or if you are a person who's been online for forever, you all have assets. So what is an asset? An asset is something that you own that belongs to you that is going to be important to you in your business. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of business you are in. If you are a network marketer, you have assets. Some network marketing companies provide more assets than others. And in some cases, you've had to create your own assets, but you have them. If you have a product or a service that you are marketing online, you have assets. That asset might be your product or your service, and any sales materials that you've ever created, including offline brochures or presentations that you have done, as well as if you have a website or even just a Facebook account. Now, the one assumption that I can make is that every single one of you has a Facebook account. Whether you use it a lot or not, most of you came on this call as a direct result of the Facebook account that you now own. That's an asset. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about assets and the best possible way to look at them and decide what you have and what you don't have. Now, this is the point where you might decide that you want to take some notes, okay? And so bring up a notepad or get out a simple yellow pad and a pen. It doesn't have to be high tech, okay? But here is where you take the time to inventory your assets. Now, for those of you who have come in since we started the recording, I'd like to request that, number one, you go ahead and mute your line. You can do that either by muting via your phone or using *6 so that we can get a nice, clean recording. And we're grateful for every single one of you that's on the call this evening. So let's talk about your assets. This is the list, okay? The first thing that most people think of is a blog or a website. Some of you have a blog or a website, or both, and some of you do not. Either way, a blog or website is the first thing that comes to mind. But most people don't realize that there are a lot more kinds of assets on and offline that are going to become important to you as you begin to market yourself. So if you have a Facebook account, if you have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, that is an asset. Write it down. If you have a Twitter account or a Twitter group, write it down. Do you have a YouTube account? Either one that you have posted videos to, or a YouTube account that you're simply using to keep track of your playlists. Both types of YouTube accounts will be valuable to you over time. Do you have an email marketing account? I'd be really surprised if you don't, since you have a Facebook account. But email marketing accounts are more than just your regular email. Examples of this are MailChimp, GetResponse, and so forth. These are accounts that actually allow you to send out emails to large groups of people who have opted in to a newsletter or some type of a group online. Do you have a Google Plus account? Do you have any groups in Google? Do you have any Hangouts that you do on a regular schedule on Google Plus? Please write that down. Do you have any social media accounts such as LinkedIn, Reddit, Pinterest, Dig, or so forth? There are a lot of them out there. We will be discussing each one of these types of assets over the course of this class. Understand that this class will go probably for a full year without ever repeating a class. These will be recorded, and you will be able to refer back to them. So if you didn't come prepared to take notes tonight, never fear, you will be able to go over this information again. Offline networking platforms such as networking groups. Now, for instance, a networking group that I am part of is called CEO Space. It's a group of people, a very large international group of people who get together on a regular basis to network thousands at a time in a very unique networking platform. But there are other groups, such as your local chamber of commerce, community groups of all kinds, meetup groups of all kinds. If you are a member of or attend these kinds of groups, write them down. There's a reason we are doing this, so please take the time. This is going to help you in any kind of marketing effort you're doing. So please take the time to write these down. Do you have an established brand? Now, this could be your brand, or if you're a network marketer, is your brand of your company an established brand? There are a lot of brands out there that we recognize just by looking at a symbol. We can go, oop, that's Pepsi, or oop, that's IBM, or oh, that's Google. We know automatically by seeing the branding. So do you have an established brand? Your brand could be you. And I suggest that regardless of what other brands you're connected to, your name is one of those brands. So write your name down as an asset, because we're going to teach you how to make your name into an asset and create yourself as a celebrity within your niche. Very, very important. Do you have a merchant account such as PayPal, eWallet, authorized.net, or so forth? This is a place where you can actually accept money from other people. Very, very important if you want to make money online. Now, network marketers, once again, your merchant account is probably built into your network marketing company's back office or dashboard. So you could write that down as, yes, you have a merchant account. Do you have a conference line or webinar platform? Now, personally, I use freeconferenceline.com. It gives me a free conference line, and it also gives me a webinar platform that I can use that goes from free to hundreds of dollars depending on how many thousands of people you have on a line at any one given time. But this is an important thing, and you can start out for free. We're going to teach you how to use a free conference line to help you grow your business as part of what we do during the course of our syllabus here. Are you familiar with, or do you regularly use an outsourcing platform such as Fiverr, Elance, or Freelancer? An outsourcing platform is a place where you can get other people to do things that either A, you don't know how to do yourself, or B, you don't have the time to do yourself, and you're willing to pay someone a nominal fee to do things that are taking up time when you could be using directly on marketing. Do you have marketing tools? There are lots of different kinds of marketing tools out there, and we will be covering those in detail, step by step, letting you look right over my shoulder over the course of this course. But if you have marketing tools, you need to write them down. And do you have marketing resources? Marketing resources might be as simple as your dashboard for your network marketing program or an affiliate marketing program that you're involved in. A marketing resource might be an affiliate marketing platform. There are lots of them out there that you can be involved in. We're going to cover all this kinds of stuff and show you how you can use all of these things at one time or another to help grow your business, whatever it is and wherever you are right now. So, on your mark, get set, go. You need to take a look at that list. We're done here today. You're going to see that list in a completely different way than you ever have before. See the lady with her game face on? I love that face. She is ready to totally rock this thing, okay? You need to be ready to rock it. And that means that you need to get serious about this. Now, whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's your own personal product or a network marketing product, you need to decide whether this is a hobby for you or whether you're serious and you're ready to turn it into a real business. Now, it doesn't matter how pretty your workout suit is and how good your game face is if you're not actually doing it. We can talk a really good game, but unless you're setting aside time, effort, money, and following a course, it's not going to make any difference. And this is why I give homework. At the end of every single lesson, there will be a list of homework assignments. Those people who follow these homework assignments diligently will move forward faster than you expected to or hoped to. Okay? So I do give homework. There is a list. I will not be calling you on the carpet if you don't do it, because you're the one who controls your business. There's nobody standing over you with a whip or threatening to fire you. They can't fire you. Okay? But your success depends entirely on you. But we're going to take this one step at a time. I don't want you to get overwhelmed and feel like there's a never-ending staircase. Now, this particular staircase is looking down, but if you can imagine yourself at the very bottom of that staircase looking up, it could be a little intimidating. But we're going to take this one step at a time, baby steps. I'm not going to overwhelm you. I know you have lots of other things that you have to do besides the things that I'm going to assign you. The good news is you can do this one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 hour at a time. If you have to, you can do it 15 minutes at a time. That's the beauty of owning your own business. Okay? The first and most important thing that you have to do is you need to create a plan. Okay? You need to decide where you want to be and how you're going to get there. It's really easy to say, okay, Bonnie, I want to be making $5 million by the end of the year. That means nothing unless you have a step-by-step plan that says, first I do this, then I do this. Okay? And then as I go along, if I come to a fork in the road, here's plan B and maybe plan C. But I keep moving forward and doing what needs to be done in order to be successful. All right. So here's the first thing that you need to do. This is your very first homework assignment. And I'm going to reiterate that in a minute. But the very first thing you need to do is you need to make a budget of two really important things. You need to make a budget of your time and of your money, because both of these will be required for you to succeed in whatever it is you're doing. What do I mean by make a budget of your time? I mean you need to set some office hours. Those office hours are going to be absolutely essential to your success in a home-run business or a small business. Whether you're working out of an office with your name on the door and a sign in the window, or you're working out of a corner of your kitchen, you need to be professional about this. And that means you need to say that I work on my business from X time to X time these days of the week. And once you have made a decision on what time you are going to work every day on your business, you need to let your family and friends and coworkers or whoever it is that normally would try to get in touch with you during the day, whether that's your Facebook friends or whoever it is, you need to let them know and post your operating hours. Okay? You need to let them understand that this is a business to you and that unless there is a true emergency where there is dire need for immediate response, that when you are working in your business, unless they are part of that business, you will not respond until your office hours are over. Okay? That means within your home, if you have kids, a spouse, or whatever, it's kind of hard to give office hours to your cat. They will lay on your keyboard to get your attention if they need to. In those kinds of cases, you need to find some other way of dealing with that. So I can't advise you on how to deal with your cat. But as far as your family and friends are concerned, you need to have regular office hours, because if you are professional, it means that you are dedicating your time to your business. It needs to be consistent amount of time, consistent timing, and also you need to consistently actually be working in your business. And we'll talk about exactly what that means in future lessons. That being said, let's talk about monetary budget. Now, some of you have been dreading me talking about this, but it is vital that we talk about it. And this is why. You need to commit. If all you've got is $10 extra, you need to commit that $10 in one way or another to your business. Now, what do I mean by extra? I'm not talking about the money that's left over after you've done all the fun things that you want to do in your life. You need to recognize that to run a business, there will be a certain amount of sacrifice required, and that means making a commitment to spend a certain amount of money on your business every month. Now, if you have to raise that money by doing garage sales, or whatever it is that you have to do, you need to budget that money and stick to that budget, because it will require you to spend money on your business. If you're in a network marketing company, that means getting your auto ship or whatever it is that you have committed to as far as your business is concerned, whether that's being part of a marketing co-op or paying for your website, or paying for specific tools that you're using, whatever it is, you need to make a budget and stick to it. The other thing is you need to be careful not to overspend. If you start spending money willy-nilly and charging up every credit card you have for your business, that's a danger zone. It will cause problems in your life, with your family, with your spouse, or just with your accountant. You need to be careful to budget money, that you stick to the budget on either side of that line, by not spending the money on something else, or on the other side of the line, not overspending to the point. You need to make decisions, and good decisions. One of the things that you are going to learn as we move on is what to not spend money on online, because the internet can be a huge money pit. The internet can suck your wallet and your bank account and your credit cards dry if you let it, and if you are not paying attention to what you're doing. Okay. So for some of you, you're saying, oh, Bonnie, this is all stuff I already knew. And it might be. But the internet is not instant pudding. You can't set it and forget it. You can't put it on autopilot or any of that stuff. Your business requires watching over and taking care of it. It's going to require some work. Whoops. So for some of you, I've already scared you away. For those of you who are still on the line and still paying attention, I want to congratulate you because it means that you're serious about your business. Now, let's talk about homework. The first homework you have is to take inventory of your assets. I want you to look at every brochure that you've got about your product, whether it's from something you created or something that someone else created for you, or whether it's something that your network marketing company created for you. I want you to look at whether or not you've got a website. Do not feel like you need to have all of this stuff today. All we're talking about right now is sitting down and taking stock of what you already have. Because one of the things we're going to teach you is how to repurpose the things you already own, even if some of those things are not up to date. Okay? You need to seriously sit down and look at this. Now, when you're doing this, for the things that have passwords and usernames and URLs, I want you to create a document. This can be a notepad, it can be a Word document, or a Google document. I don't care. Some place that you can write things down that will allow you to put that on your computer. It could be Evernote. Evernote, by the way, is one of my favorite tools online. Whatever it is, you need to take stock and put that inventory in a file that you are going to save. Where are you going to put that? Well, you're going to put it a few places. One of the things you're going to do is you're going to print it out and put it up where you can see it so that you can add to it throughout the week. Because as you're doing it, you're not going to remember everything. But as you go along, what I'm trying to do is set your head in such a way that you will be thinking and focusing about what you already have that's worth keeping and using and availing yourself of. This could be CDs created by your company, or it could be a website. It could be a landing page. There's so many different types of things you might have in that inventory. Put it up where you can see it and add to it throughout the week. Create a folder for your project that you are going to put on your desktop of your computer. Don't hide it off in documents someplace or somewhere else on your computer. I want you to create a folder right on your desktop. If you don't know how to do that, private message me, and I'll be glad to send you a tutorial on how to create a folder for your desktop. Because I recognize that we are all at different technology levels right now on this call. Create a folder for your project, put it on your desktop where you can see it. Then, inside that folder, I want you to create a subfolder for each asset that's on your list. And I told you that this was going to be some work. Okay? Don't get discouraged. Take this one step at a time. Do this as you have time through the week and try and have it done by next week. So create a subfolder for each asset. All right? Inside each one of those subfolders are going to go, remember I told you about the username and passwords and links? You need to create a little document inside of each subfolder called keys. And that little document is going to save you a lot of pain and heartache down the road. You are going to forget these usernames and passwords over time. You just will. And at one point you're going to go, oh man, I want to use MailChimp or whatever, fill in the blank. I go, oh, man, I haven't used it in so long. I don't even remember what username or password I used. And then you're going to get discouraged because with some companies, that's a really difficult process, especially if by that time you've also changed your email. Okay, so also inside those subfolders, if you have receipts, like a PayPal receipt or a receipt that's sent to you by the company via email, you need to put a copy of that email receipt inside there so that you could down the road prove that you purchased that asset, whatever it is. All right? That has saved me more trouble than I can tell you. I have clients who've paid huge amounts of money for something, and they didn't use it for so long that they couldn't find the information for them, their username, their password, or anything. And they said, well, just send us the copy of the email that we sent you when you first purchased this, and we'll set your account back up. And they didn't have it. So, okay, so a subfolder for each asset, you need to put your username and passwords on a document in that subfolder, and also a copy of any receipts that are necessary for that particular asset. Now, the next thing you need to do is sit down and create your time and investment budget. That means creating office hours that says, I will devote X amount of hours every week at these specific times, and I will devote X amount of dollars every week to my business. I don't care how much it is. You know your budget. For some of you, that's going to be a fairly large sum. For others of you, it might be $10. Whatever it has, there are lots of things out there that we can help you save money on or create free assets for you. So don't get wrapped around the axle about the money, except that you need to do it. It's a discipline. It's part of what successful people do in business. You talk to anyone who's ever been a hilarious success online, and bootstrapper or not, they had a certain amount of money that they spent on their business every month, whatever that is. The next thing you need to do is start a business log. This is a way of being accountable. You can either make this as a document on your computer, or you can set it up on a yellow pad, a legal pad, or a notepad of some sort that you just keep at your desk. And every time you sit down to work, you basically check in with yourself. On that log should be two sides of the page. A steno pad works really good with this. On the one side of the page are the list of the things that you're going to do on any given day. And on the other side is not only check marks that you've done it, but also what you did, where you did it, so that you can remember what you did. It's a great way to feel accomplished, and it's a great way to keep track of what you're doing so that you can analyze which things are most effective for you and which things seem to be time wasters. Okay? Also, you need to join the mastermind group on Facebook. That mastermind group is called Internet Marketing with the Web Woman. That mastermind group is a place for you to go online, ask questions of me specifically or of the group. The nice thing about mastermind groups is everybody gets to participate and contribute. You might have, for instance, tools and so forth that I've never heard of. The Internet's a big place, and I'm humble enough to recognize that I do not know everything, folks, but I know enough that I can help you, all right? And then we know enough as a group that we can help each other. So Internet Marketing with the Web Woman. I'm also going to put a link in the events page that you use to come on to this event today. as well as I will do an invitation to any of you who send me a private message if you can't figure out how to get on any other way, okay? The last thing I want to talk to you is about why this class is free. This class is free because I understand that it takes money to make money, but sometimes you don't have enough. Some of you have more than others, and so I am not making money a requirement for you to come into this class. That being said, I do have my own expenses, and I do take a lot of time to prepare this class every week. I will be here every week for you all to enjoy and to use for all of the people that you know that need this. If you find this valuable, I invite you to support me with some sort of a donation. This is not required to participate and never will be. All I'm saying is that instead of charging a huge amount, I decided to make this donations only. The link to that donation website is here. It's also listed in the mastermind group if you missed this. It's WeShareCrowdfunding.com/fund me please. And it's simple. You can go on there with PayPal or whatever it is that you normally use to make payments online. I don't want to put a lot of time and emphasis on this, just to say that if you do that, it's appreciated. I will keep it completely private. Nobody will know whether you spent $5 or whatever. It's up to you. Let's pretend that I decided to go to a restaurant and sit down with you and give you this class. Would you be willing to pay for my Big Mac or whatever to get to do that? If not, that's fine too. I don't care. I really and truly don't. I'm going to do these classes whether I get a penny in donations or not, because it's the right thing to do. Now I'm going to open up the line. Those of you who have muted, feel free to unmute so that you can go ahead and ask any questions. I'm looking in the chat, not seeing any questions in the chat at this time. Does anyone have any questions or comments, thoughts at this point?
How do you type something in the chat, Bonnie?
Hiya.
I don't see any place to. I just saw that on the side.
It doesn't say
webinar, by the way. I don't see any chat thing.
Huh.
Right in the middle of the screen, there's a V up at the top. If you click on that, it will give you the chat right in the middle.
Where it says the people? Oh, I see.
You see where it says homework? Okay. If you go right up above where it says homework, there's a V there. Just click on the V, and it will give you 5 options, and chat's right in the middle.
Okay. Well, I do want to say something because I don't know who's on here. I don't have access to see that. But Bonnie, I have known Bonnie since 2006, so almost 10 years. And she is just a powerhouse of knowledge that she can impart. And so I'm sitting here. It's a good thing I've muted my phone because I'm not sure that if y'all would have heard all this or not, but I was taking notes, typing the whole time you were talking, even though you had the slides that said stuff. And Bonnie and I started this same training together in March. And so what I'm seeing on the screens right now is all the stuff she told me that I was going to do when we were in the class. So, Bonnie, you put this together beautifully. And when I pulled all my homework together for my golf business, and it was amazing. if you have something that you're doing and you pull all this homework together that you think you really don't have, oh, gosh, I don't have any money. But when you start pulling the list of things that she's given you on this screen, that you actually do have hard assets that you don't know that you've got because you don't realize they are an asset. And so she gave me homework, and I worked the homework, and it was amazing. And then we did a sidestep to another venture, and we had to put this down for a bit. But I'm going to be in the class with you. When are the classes going to be, Bonnie? Are they weekly or once a month?
Every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And feel free, if you have downline, upline, sideline, or someone else in your company, if you have a partner or whatever, feel free, or people that are working for you that you need to know this stuff, feel free to invite them, once again, at no charge for this weekly class.
Awesome. And you've recorded this, and you're going to put the link up for us to be able to see the slides, I hope?
I will absolutely be doing that.
Awesome. That is awesome. And, if anybody's out here, to me, I think one of the things that is hard for somebody, even if you're in business for yourself and you think you have a great cause, a great program, you've got a great something, but it's difficult sometimes to see the forest for the trees. And if you can have a scout that goes before you that knows how to forge through the trees, it's going to make it a whole lot easier. And, Bonnie, I appreciate your hard work. This is beautifully put together.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Bonnie, this is Patsy. I was just wanted to let you know. I went to the place to donate, and there's 2 buttons to click on. And I just
either one will work.
Down. Well, the one at the bottom didn't work for me, so I just thought you might want to check that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Didn't want to work. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks. All right. So, any other questions, comments, thoughts? Awesome. Okay. Well, same time, same channel next week. I'll be here, and feel free to pass the recording around to anyone that you think might benefit from it. That's what I'm here for, is to benefit people in any possible way that I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bonnie. And maybe the ones of us that are here tonight can slam dunk some more people in here and that get to see this recording before going into next week, because I think it would be very beneficial for people to see this.
All right. Well, thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome, honey. I love your work.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. This is Craig. Thank you.
Oh, Craig, hi.
Yeah, just want to say thank you again for sharing your knowledge with us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, you are so welcome, Craig. And next week we've got some really cool stuff coming up as well. So, and I'm putting the classes up where you can see them on the events page where you found this in the first place. Let's see here real quick. You can see that down here I've also posted some of the other classes that we're going to do next week. Class number 2 in the series will be entitled Finding Your Tribe, and it's all about teaching you how to find the people who most want what you have. And this is a really exciting class because it's going to allow you to take the assets and the other things that we do and help you discover where to seek out like-minded people who already want what you have. Makes it a lot easier to sell something if you can find people who are actually looking for it. Okay?
Wow, that's great.
Okay.
All right. See y'all next week.